You can have the most beautiful property in your entire market, and if it has 0 reviews, it might as well be invisible. I'm Dr. Rachel Gainsbrugh, an Anthropic certified expert featured on Netflix. I help busy professionals leverage AI to build Airbnb portfolios that don't just generate income, they protect it, starting with your tax bill. By the end of this video today, you'll know the exact workaround for getting your first reviews, the reciprocity method that gets guests to leave you long, glowing reviews without you ever having to ask twice, and the one shift that keeps 5-star reviews coming on autopilot. On Airbnb, the reviews drive your page rank. Page rank drives your bookings, but you need bookings to get reviews in the first place. And if you're brand new, you're stuck in a loop with no obvious way out. One of our students, let's call her Dr. J, she ran into this exact problem. Her brand new property in the mountains was completely ready to go. She was just waiting for her short-term rental permit to get approved before she could legally host it. Meanwhile, she had 0 reviews, which was suppressing her page rank and killing her booking velocity before she even hosted a single guest. That's the exact catch-22. You need bookings to get reviews, but you need reviews to get bookings. So here's what we advise her, and this is simpler than most people think. Look right to the people around you. Think your workplace, your church, your community, your friends, and have them actually book the property as a paying guest. Have them go through the entire booking process, stay at the property, and leave a genuine review. Encourage them to make sure it's a glowing review. The point is to get real bookings moving through the system so that the algorithm has something to work with. That's exactly what we had Dr. J do. People from her local network booked the property as paying guests so she could get her first 3 reviews and finally achieve a star rating. Once that happens, her page stopped being invisible. 3 reviews is the threshold that matters the most. Once you cross it, you are no longer an unknown listing with no data behind it. You're a rated property. Now here's the philosophy I want you to understand, because once you get it, review generation stops feeling like a favor that you're begging for. As a host, every time you write a guest review, you're exchanging social currency. When you go first, when you write that actual, thoughtful, specific review for your guests before they've even written one for you, you create a natural pull for them to reciprocate. Here's exactly how to do it. Write your guests a genuine, specific review the moment their stay ends. Then take a screenshot on your phone of that review and send it to them directly as a message within the booking platform. Your face needs to be in the message, smiling, warm, talking about how you enjoyed hosting them. That personal touch is what makes it land. You do that once, fully, the right way, and after that, you can use that as a template. The same warm message structure, the same smiling photo, just swap out the screenshot and the guest's name every single time. And this is exactly where AI earned its keep. Use it to update that image quickly for you for every new guest so that the personal touch never disappears even as you scale. Once they've seen that you went first and that it's genuine, you simply ask them to leave you a review too. And most guests, they will. Here's the part that most people get wrong. Your response to a public review is absolute key. Every single future guest who visits your listing, they read your response, your public response to every guest review that is left on your profile. So when a guest leaves you a review, don't just say thank you or come again. I want you to write a long, warm, specific public review. Something like, hey Amanda, I love hosting you and your family, and especially your furry friend. We love welcome families who treat our home like their own, those who are visiting in the area to spend time at our local attraction, or those who may be displaced due to a disaster and they need a home away from home. And then you wrap it with something like, do come again and stay with us. This was specific, it was genuine, it was warm, it was public for anyone considering booking their stay. Here's why this works. A future guest reading that response, it doesn't just see that you're a good host, they see that there's a standard for a review. They see what a review is gonna look like on your listing. And so when it's their turn to write one, they'll model what they just read. A longer, warmer, more detailed review than they might not have otherwise written. So the deal is you're not just responding to the guest that just stayed with you, you're sending a message and setting the tone for every guest that comes after that specific guest. And as a bonus, place a visual rating guide inside your property to gently educate guests on how the platform's algorithm actually works. That bridges the gap by showing them that a 5-star review doesn't mean absolute perfection. It means that they had a great stay. Getting reviews is only half the battle. The other half is protecting them because not every guest plays fair. Another student, I'll call her Dr. D, she spent 2 days dealing with a guest who snuck in an undisclosed dog. It got caught on camera, and then the guest demanded $400 back. When Dr. D refused, the guest left a 2-star retaliatory review and mentioned cleanliness. Despite Dr. D having it professionally clean, the guest was enjoying the property throughout, but them getting caught was the reason they retaliated. And Airbnb initially declined to remove the review. This is one of the most emotionally draining and financially damaging things that can happen to hosts because a single bad faith review can undo months and months and months of 5-star momentum. My recommendation is document everything, the before and the after every single stay. Professional cleaning photos, check-in condition photos, anything caught on camera, all of it is evidence if your guest ever tries to use a review as a weapon instead of honest feedback. Now, once your reviews are flowing and protected, the next question is how do you keep them consistently 5-star without it consuming your life? Students in our community are running tools like HostBuddy AI, which is integrated with their booking platform to handle guest messaging around the clock. One host had a guest that was locked out at 2 o'clock in the morning. The AI tool walked them through finding the backup key step by step, and the guest actually thanked the host for staying up so late. That guest had no idea they were talking to AI. What they experienced was a fast, calm, helpful response at 2 a.m., exactly the kind of experience that turns into a 5-star review. Before your next booking, run through this. Do you have real, verified reviews at a minimum of 3 reviews, or are you still sitting at 0? Are you writing your guest reviews first and sending it to them personally before asking for one back? Are your public reviews long and specific enough to set the standard for the next guest reading them? Do you have documented photos of the property's condition before and after every stay? If you're missing any of those, that's your next move. Getting your first reviews, using reciprocity the right way, and protecting what you've built. That's not something you have to figure out guest by guest on your own. It's exactly what we walk through inside of our community, along with the tools our members are already using to do it. The link is right here.